issues that affect our pockets, and going into the new year, obviously, we have to have a plan, and basically that's what we're going to help you with. Figure out how you're going to plan for your year financially, as far as your career goes and your goals. Have you made your new year resolutions? That's a big question that many people will be asking themselves this today, I guess, as we go into the new year. Now, joining the conversation today is Faith Wambui, who is the talent support specialist at Fuzu. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Now, when you're talking about a new year, you know, the whole resolution thing is usually 50-50. Some people go through with it. Some people do it just because that's the thing to do during the new year. Now, how would you advise people to approach this subject or the concept of making new year resolutions?
Okay, I think at this moment, even looking that it's the end of 2019, it's the end of a decade. So as you're planning, you're not only planning for 2020, you're also going to be thinking forward and maybe planning for the next 10 years. Yeah, especially in terms of your career, because you find that people are at very different points of their career. So probably you're just joining the job market, probably you're thinking of a shift. You've been a manager for the past 5 years. What do you want to do next? So I think the first major thing is to assess not only 2019, but the past 10 years. What have you studied? What skills have you acquired? What experience have you acquired within the past 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is within that time? Because you find that maybe you've been in school for the past 3 years, you've been in school for the past 7. So how exactly has whatever you've done in the past 10 years, how does it reflect on your next 10, your next 3?
Basically taking stock.
Yes.
So as you reflect, what are the things that you should be looking for that are the basis of now your plans going forward?
Okay, so as you look at your 2020, your next 10 years, you're probably thinking, so I have studied 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
I have done this, so what exactly am I doing in terms of my career? Do I want to grow? Do I want to accelerate my career? So what you do is you first need to know yourself. You first need to get to know yourself, understand your personality. Sorry. And with this also get to know yourself, understand yourself in terms of not only a human being, but in terms of what am I best at? What do I do best? Is it speaking? Do I do analysis better? So you have to look at this, understand yourself, what you're doing, your personality.
Right.
And also through this, as you better understand yourself, you're able to make a career path. You're able to think of, so yes, you're thinking of the decade, yes, but of course, step by step. So in 2020, I want to do this. I want to get my first managerial position.
Right.
In 2020, I want to get my first internship. In 2020, I want to first get my first supervision job. So you first plan step by step. And with this now, the next thing you're going to do is identify the tools that you need. So do I need to learn something new? Do I need to go back to school?
Right.
So these are things that you should start thinking about. And when as you think about this, also do your research in terms of your industry. Let me give you for an example. What are the new trends in TV? What skills do you need to acquire so as to make yourself better? Also, you look at something that is very key also in career development and career planning is whatever it is you're doing now, the truth of the matter is it may not be what you're doing in the next 10 years. So how do you adequately prepare yourself for that?
Right. Now, when the biggest problem with planning ahead is falling off the wagon and not realizing, because I think it's okay to fall off because it happens to everyone, but then when you don't find out or notice up until the next new year, then that's the problem. So should you give yourself sort of segmented goals by the first quarter, I should have done this, and the half of the year, should you give yourself breaks whereby you can take stock so that you're not looking at it as just another year that you did not achieve what you wanted, and therefore you're going to make the same thing and, rinse, repeat?
Okay. I think it's very important to know that not everything works out. In even worst cases, everything would work out. So how exactly do you move on from this? As I said, as you're taking time to know yourself, get to know your personality, get to better understand yourself, you do segment your plans, hence the career path. I could give the example of my work as a talent support specialist at Fuzu. So most of what I do is engage with people who are out there, because Fuzu has around 850,000 users in Kenya and Uganda. So how exactly do we help these people? Because we are not just a job board. We are a career accelerator.
Yes.
So my job has enabled me to interact with different people at different areas, different steps of their career. So you meet people, someone who has been doing marketing for the past 20 years, and they're like, you know what, I want to do human resource. And you're thinking, so how did you get here?
Yes.
So it's just segmenting. And someone would say, I have studied this, I sat into a class for HR, and I think this is my next step. So you do segment. You segment it and you realize, so in the next 5 years, this is what I want to do. This interview came at a very good time when I was just wrapping up also my planning for 2020. And also trying to also plan for my decade. And I'm like, by the end of the decade, I want to do strategic leadership. So how exactly do I get there? And it all starts from now. I do not know what's going to happen in the next 10 years.
Yes, and vision boards are good. They're wonderful.
Very essential.
Yeah. Do you advise these? Some people say they mock them when they walk into the house and they see their vision board that they have not barely scratched. They're just like, you know what, I'm going to take this down.
It's very nice to visualize things, because it may be good, it may be bad. You may walk into it and you think, okay, so I'm in July, I have not achieved the 5 goals I was to achieve by the half of the year. So look at it this way. It may motivate you, it may demotivate you. You may be motivated to actually work towards achieving what you wanted to achieve by then, and help you towards achieving what you wanted to do for the rest of the year. And you might also get demotivated. Also, something else that is very key in career planning is find what motivates you. What motivates you when you're looking for a job? What motivates you when you're within your job and you want to keep it? And a key thing, especially with millennials, you find what motivates us is learning more. You want to know what's happening. You want to read up on what's happening. In terms of your industry where you're working, you want to be on top of everything, all the changes that are coming. Also, something that is very key, in the next, seeing that this is the end of a decade, someone who's been in a career path for those 10 years or whatever, however many number of years, things have changed. Things have changed. There have been very drastic changes in terms of technology and in terms of skills, new skills that actually employers are looking for. And now also, we have also seen that side, because I think a constant pain you will hear with Kenyans is there are no jobs in Kenya.
There are no jobs.
On my end, what I see is there are jobs. There's so many jobs, but people are not equipped for them. People are not equipped for them. And now also, this is where I would emphasize the need to learn. Learning is as little as reading a book, going on YouTube and finding a video on how to do 1, 2, 3. And now also you find that in the past maybe 5 years, online courses have become a very necessary thing. You even have universities in Kenya that are offering online courses. And a problem when you suggest to someone they do an online course, they're like, I'm not sure if this will be taken as a real course.
But it is a real course.
And also in addition to that, there are also badging certificates where you actually take an online course, especially with international universities. You take an online course, be it a master's, a diploma, a degree, and you or even just a course on something like project management. And you get a certificate in that, and you are a certified individual.
A certificate. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you need to prove it, it's through your skills, not what you're saying, whether you are at that campus or not. Now, I'd like to think of it as in terms of partnerships. I mean, I might want to get myself to a certain level financially or in terms of my career, but sometimes we undo ourselves by not considering other people that can help us. If I'm trying to get into marketing, who can help me get to where I am? Because I want to be, because I don't have all the skills. So would you advise for people to seek the right partners or even employees or people around you that can help you, reach set goals?
I would recommend it 100%. Something else that's very key to do is networking. Networking by just identifying events that are happening around you that will enable you to meet with people in a certain industry that maybe you're currently working in or you're interested in venturing in. So look out for events, attend these events, and do not just attend and sit down and listen. Actually actively engage with people at that event, meet people, network, make business cards and pass them out. Especially you find people who are even self-employed. This is how you reach out. You meet people and someone is like, oh yeah, I met this person at this event and I would highly recommend them for this. So yes, definitely get out. I do not mean just step out, but actually get out and actively engage.
Yes, and this has to also do with making noise in your industry and wherever you are. Yes, so you have to make noise, and I think there's a certain shame that is associated with people, you know, trying to put themselves out there. But I think this is the right thing to do, right?
Definitely. I would say even the people that I know, people I've engaged with through my time in campus, and even friends that I've made, I have learned to make noise. And not just make noise, make the necessary noise, and make noise that is not only heard, but actually leaves an impact. Also, something else that we strongly advocate for is, even as you join, especially you find that people who are fresh graduates, you join an organization as an intern. I joined Fuzu as an intern, but how exactly do you stand out and make the best out of your role? So with everything that's happening, help out wherever you can. I have friends who are telling me, I came this far in this organization because I did not just sit down and do whatever I was required to do 8 to 5. You have to make yourself very uncomfortable. You have to make yourself very uncomfortable to achieve whatever it is you've envisioned for yourself.
And I think you also have to ignore the people who feel like you shouldn't be putting yourself out there, because you will always be encountering this. And I love the use of social media in today as a tool that you can use to put yourself out there. Could you speak to that?
Okay, yes,
it's
definitely.
A basic form of marketing yourself.
So social media, mostly you find people who are maybe starting businesses would be ideally the people who rush to social media first to market, to sort of get the word out there. But also we have seen the trend of on Twitter, the hashtag EcoJobKE, people actually just spreading the word of I am equipped with these skills, I have experience in this, help me get a job. And when you look at it, if you look at the hashtag, amazingly you get so many retweets. This means that people are actually willing to help each other out. And it is very important. It is very important to also help each other out. But also when you look at it in terms of how exactly are other individuals in the market helping people through social media, you actually find it interesting. Someone is headhunting for a role on social media, and that actually happens, especially with LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is one of the major assets on social that you can actually take advantage of. Now, as we wind up, is there something that you'd like to put out to the young people out there who are thinking, or anybody actually, not just young people, who are looking to make a change in their career, in their finances, and what advice would you give them in terms of approach and execution?
I would say, I would just reiterate on this motivation. You have to know what motivates you, because in the morning, if you're not motivated to do something, you won't do it well. You might do it, but you won't do it well. So you're not exactly sustainable in that role. So I would say definitely find your motivation. Identify what you enjoy doing. If it's in your job, enjoy it. Also, I would say the point of finding someone to walk the path with you. And I never imagined a situation where I would want someone to work with me as I try to figure out my career. But now through this, you find that I will just use the example of Fuzu, seeing that as we are a career accelerator, when people hear Fuzu, they think, that website where I go get jobs. But that's absolutely not what we're trying to do. Seeing that we are in Kenya and Uganda, we try to walk with you through the path. So what we do is, yes, you will find a job on the website, but what else do you find? The blogs. So read up on that. Read on blogs on how people have hacked certain things in terms of identifying what they want to do. Also in terms of career coaching. This is something that most people are not willing to pick up, but actually going to someone, having someone reach out to you and tell you, so this is what you want to do, this is what I would suggest for you, which is now also available through us. But we are also in the business of now also helping companies and businesses actually employ people. So even when you come on board, we would advise you to put all your experience in there. Say, put all your skills, everything you've learned. And something that's very important, in the direction that we're going, it's not just about the books. It's not just about what you studied. It's about competence.
Competence, absolutely.
What skills have you acquired? Not only in a classroom, but with that little internship that you did, with that job that you did for 3 months, what skills have you acquired? So competence is something that's very very important in figuring out what you're going to do and actually setting out the path for you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Faith Wambui is a talent support specialist at Fuzu. Thank you so much for your sentiments. And as you've heard, the assets you need are all around you. Take advantage of them and be better in the coming year. Thank you so much for watching Morning Express. I've been your host, Trix Ingado. Watch out for News Center coming up next. Do not go too far. This is KTN News.